All right, got a couple other videos to do this morning. We got a freaking giant volcano going off. We got some issues to talk about. QAnon with their posting of the pedo stuff. Holy crap, are they going on a tear right now? Anyways, first let's give them something to talk about. Let's close this real quick. And shall we share a screen? Greetings, JSnip. Now, this isn't a dump. This is not a dump. 1.8% here, 2% there, 1.2% there. And you notice this is strictly Bitfinex. This is the shorts and the longs. As you can see, there are not a lot more, but there's more longs than shorts. And typically, I'm not gonna say every time, but typically, whatever the majority is gets slaughtered. The pros come in, the club, whatever comes in and just cleans house. Squeeze, short squeeze, long squeeze, whatever it takes. See ya, out of here. Boom. See ya, out of here. So the market got just over 4,000 Bitcoin. So again, we've got a new level of support now. We've got 4K. We're good. Its next stop is 5,000. All right. Hey, look, I'm watching more than likely the same people, chartists, probably some of your favorite people on TradingView too. I'm watching them. I'm following. Yeah, bull. I'm seeing a bull breakout here. Blah blah blah. Okay. There's not a whole lot of people, I should say at least a little while back, that were saying, I think this thing's going to dump. And I'm over here saying, no, my indicator still says sit tight. Like, it ain't done yet. And then only recently, a few other people, whether that's Crypto Kirby or Crypto Crew University, a couple others, we might dump. Which I'm like, well, maybe they're finally seeing something now. Good. Because that makes me feel a little better about this indicator. Okay, maybe it was right to tell me to just keep waiting. So, I'm just gonna use my finger to do some drawing. Now, typically I don't come out here and give, super juicy info that I'd give to my patrons. Obviously they pay for that information. If they could get it for free, why would they even pay? They could just come here and listen to me on YouTube. But every now and then, Snip's got to let the public know, hey, look, this is what this thing did. If it works, great. Maybe I'll pull in a few more customers. You know what I'm saying? So for those people, Patreon, relax. Don't think I'm just gonna give everything away for free. But sometimes, I gotta promote myself, give a little nugget. If it turns to be a nugget, what if it turns to be a fail? It could be a fail right now. What I'm about to say, but I don't know. This indicator, I can go back 2 years into 2017, and I watched every pump and dump of the market. And I say pump and dump, not a pump and dump, but you know what I mean. Every rally, drop. And it was saying, okay, we're overbought. Sure enough, it went down. We're oversold. It goes back up. Until it gets basically into these extreme ranges, basically. When it's extreme, overbought, I'm out. Just sell. Let me sit back and see what happens. Market falls off. Okay, good. Is it extreme oversold yet? Nope. I'm going to wait. Extreme oversold. Yes, it is. Now I'm going to get back in. That's what I saw going back 2 years, where if I did that, this thing told me well in advance, usually days, that it's saying, hey, we're extreme one way or the other. And then I have two monitors here, right? I pulled up a chart of Bitcoin last 2 years, okay? Into 2017. This thing, it gave a signal. A couple days later, boom, down here. Signal, boom. So I'm like, wow, this thing gives, honestly, ample time to make a move if you're going to make a move on its indication. I've only got access to this tool recently, okay? You may hear a little lawnmower action. It's funny, sometimes I come out here on Thursdays, my brother-in-law's out here mowing the yard. He does that for a living. So I may, I think he kind of comes behind here a little bit and then goes back around, down the side, and then that way, so. I'm seeing my mic, I got a little light that flashes it, it kind of picks it up. Now he's in the front. It's probably quiet enough. Anyway, sorry about that. Keep it in the family, man. Hey, my brother-in-law, you do it for a living, I'll pay you. I'll give you some, throw him a bone. You know what I'm saying? Throw him a bone. So anyways, it was the first time I got it. It was several weeks ago. We were towards the end of February. I think it was around the 20-something, 23rd-ish. And I'm playing with this thing for 2 hours straight. I'm like, oh my God, this thing's, I think, amazing. Let me double check that. Looking back in the history, okay, I'm like, oh, it goes back 2 years. I can't go any further. And it's basically a daily chart, if you will, but it can update up to 3 times in that day. Randomly. And there's no set time, okay, every 2 hours, every 4 hours. It's just like, no, data must have come in that made it, change things, whatever. It's change its, number that it's giving me of overbought or oversold or whatever. But ultimately, when I look back, it's all throughout the day, every day. So I'm watching this thing and I'm like, oh my God, right now for the last like 3 or so days when I was doing this a few weeks ago, it is an extreme overbought territory. Only one other time, at least in 2018, where I saw this stat, it had been a little bit higher. Other times it was a little bit lower, and yet the market still puked. So I'm like, if I'm looking at this right, and it's a pretty freaking easy thing to look at, there's a dump coming. And soon, because again, each other time this has happened, no more than what I'll have to go, I can pull it up right this second. I can't share it first of all, but let's just say within a week or so. And it ranges. Sometimes it's the next day, sometimes it was a few days, sometimes it was a week or so. But it was, short term, it happened. The only other thing that I would see happen, there's 2 scenarios. When it started going, okay, whether it was 2 or 3 days, okay, the market starts dumping. In other words, when the market started dumping, after the indicator said, flashing red, yes, something's going to happen, within days or whatever, this thing would start falling. It would continue all the way down over a short period of time, a day or 2, maybe 3, and then it would hit extreme oversold. Okay, now the market should rally, and it did. That's what I saw. But I also saw sometimes when it peaks, overbought, rather than 2 or 3 days, goes all the way down, it could take a month to get to its actual spot of extreme oversold. But what would happen too is it would go down, and instead of going all the way down towards oversold, it would only go down about halfway. So it's kind of not oversold, not overbought, kind of hovering in the middle, so to speak. And then it would go sideways a little bit, maybe a little high, maybe a little lower, but not really extreme anything. And then it would continue its fall at some point. And I don't mean like way out in the future, like within a month or so is typically what I saw. Again, sometimes it was days, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I think 6 weeks was one of the longer ones I saw. So it would kind of go sideways. And yeah, I would move a little bit and then finish it off until it got to oversold. So this last indicator that went off, or the last time this indicator went off, which is the time I've been telling you about, and I've already said this a few times since then, approximately the 23rd or so of February, and it had already went off for a few days, and it bounced around at the extreme level for just a few days, and then it dumped. I caught it. I got access to it towards the end of those few days where it was already indicating get the hell out, and I'm like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, what the hell it was. I'm on Patreon, guys. This thing is screaming. The market's gonna dump. I just got access to this thing. I've been looking at it for 2 hours. I don't know. I wake up the next morning, starts, boom. Like, holy crap, amazing. So I was pretty excited about that, as anyone would be. And so anyways, it did one of the numbers where it didn't go down all the way. It went to the halfway point, sat there. Sideways. We've had sideways for the last 3 weeks, basically, of this indicator. Yeah, it went up a little bit, a few points, and then come back down a few points. It went up a few points, and it went sideways. Not really extreme. And then only recently was it just starting to touch that extreme again. I'm talking just a few days ago. So it was touching it, but not like, making me go, wow, it's really extreme. But still, it could have done it because I've seen past instances where, yes, it was even there and even a little lower, and the market still dumped. So I'm thinking, okay, we're waiting on part 2 of the dump. It didn't finish. So last night, again, it's late at night, and I was trying to get the post out for a couple hours. I just was busy with stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to bed tonight until I get this post out. Not that it would take long. And I said, guys, the indicator, it is basically back to the extreme place it was the other day, like February. So it went sideways. Market has climbed a little bit, right? It has climbed a little bit. And now it's back to basically the extreme number it was when I told you, hey, this thing's screaming at us, get the hell out of the market. It's there again. The only other time in 2018, all of 2018, where it was that high, or actually a little higher, was one time. And I want to say, I'm not pulling up right now, but I want to say it was when Bitcoin was 11,000 something, dropped down to 6K in about a month's time. Maybe less than a month, whatever. I'm not looking at it right at the moment. Although, since I do have this chart up, I could go to the daily real quick and go back to early when it was 11. So that would have been around February. And by March to April, well, first of all, it was 11 and a half roughly. Even up in February and then in March. So the final piece in March was about March 4th. By the time we got to March 29, so basically a month, this is the right one because I remember this, 6,400 and some change. That is that's nearly 50% wiped off. And then it went to oversold, extreme oversold when that happened. So I said, well, what does the chart show what happened after that? Sure enough, we rallied back up to nearly $10,000. 9996 or maybe I'm looking from a distance here, but from a distance, this chart looks like my friend. I ain't even going to go there. Bette Midler. Listen, I don't care if you're a man or whatever. Bette Midler can sing. She's good. She's real good. So I'm just sharing that with you. I also understand past things do not necessarily make the future the same. Like, oh, the indicator went off 400 times in a row and it nailed it, guys. Hey, guess what? And then the 401th or first month, what the 401st time? Oh, the indicator said it, but it didn't. Oh, wow, the opposite happened. You know what? Those 5K Bitcoin guys, they got it right. Snips over here. The indicator says, hold off, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, hold off. So anyways, that was the only time that I saw it so extreme, like within a few day period. Now, the huge run up in December of 20, I got to scratch my foot. My ankle is itching. It steadily was pegging up towards the extreme, all the way up when we had the huge rally. It gave ample sign in advance that oversold, we're going up. So the only problem, and this isn't a huge problem, I mean, when you think about this indicator can't even kind of tell you just how far a market's going to go up or down, even a percentage. So again, I'm looking at past stuff. 40% there, 36, 7% there. Wow, when these big extremes happen, man, the market can puke up to 40%. And I do say up to because it wasn't always 40. But in all honesty, I'm like struggling to find even just like a 20% only time. So now when it did the thing where it would go all the way down, oh, it was like 35, 40 something percent. When it would go halfway and then up, go sideways a little bit, 15, 20% wiped off, and then, oh, there it goes, finished it off. We're now in extreme oversold. So maybe a 15, 20 here, so go sideways action, this happens, oh, a little up, a little down, whatever, and then boom, it finishes it off basically, and goes extreme oversold, wiping another 20 or 30% off. So when you say, okay, well, the first 15 to 20%, count that, went sideways for a little while, did it again, another 20, 30%. It's like roughly 40% I'm seeing. And again, that's not exactly 40, but when you calculate all that, it's like, wow, 30 something, 40 something percent in the overall move. So what happened again last time, which is the first time I got access to this tool, February, get the hell out of the market. It sure as hell dumped 20%, roughly. Didn't go all the way down, didn't complete it, went sideways. And I've been telling everyone this, guys, it's gone sideways. I'm just telling you, I'm holding off. I'm holding off, guys. Here's why. Look, I know this guy's saying that. You guys are saying, I know. But this indicator, I got to stick with the data. I can't let my emotions and what other people think. The data's the data. I got to trust the data, and I do trust it, so I'm going to stick with this. I said, I know I'm a little reluctant to get in. You keep hearing me tell you I'm waiting. Here's why. And I might get wrecked. I understand that too. I might get wrecked. But seeing such accuracy with this thing over the past, I'm just like, God, I got to change this. The first call I give using it is fantastic. Market drops 20%. I'm like, okay. Now, if it does it again right now, then what? If this thing, we get another 20, 30% drop off now. I'm sold. I mean, I'm already sold on it, to be honest with you. But like, seriously, I'm super sold on this thing. I've got free access to it. Nobody else has access to this thing except for my guy's guy, kind of a thing. Which gave it to me. Here's a login. Have fun with it. All right, cool. I'm thinking I may not really need, I may not need to pick up the phone for the Cobra anymore, technically speaking. Cobra Commander, my guy's guy, just gave me access to this thing. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out, because it went extreme overbought towards the end of February, correctly predicted a dump. It happened 20% within like a day or two total time. It didn't dump all the way. Again, basing what I saw in the past. So I'm like, okay, we should dump more. We have climbed a little bit price-wise since then. Not much, a little bit. And it's already back to the extreme zone without much of a price rise. So that's why I'm thinking this time around, when I'm like, oh, well, we're waiting on part 2 of the initial dump, we're already back to extreme. Without completing the first dump, like as far as what I saw previously. So I'm like, are we about to get a massive double whammy dump kind of a thing? Is that what this means? I don't know. So in other words, 20% first time, maybe we'll lose another 20%, guys. And if we lose 20, let's get in. Is kind of what I was thinking before. And I'm just throwing the number 20 out as a rough estimate. But I'm like, wait a minute. We are now in significant extreme territory like it was the first time it said, get the hell out of the market. But the market never climbed back up that much. So does that mean a heavy-duty dump is coming? I don't know. I would say a dump is coming. Wake up today, again, and give it this thing last night, everything's in the red. Not much. Little bit. I'm starting to see stuff creep into the 3.5% zone right now since I started talking to you. 3, some still in the 1.5, 2, 3s. Whatever. Now, again, this isn't, it happened. Guys, my indicator worked. The market's down 0.5%. No. Not what I'm saying. It went off into the extreme zone where I feel like it's healthily, I guess you could say, in the extreme zone. It was just creeping in there recently, which is why I kept saying, it's still up there. This zone it's already in right now would tell me technically get the hell out. But it's just barely in the extreme side of it. So I'm out. I'm going to wait. Now it's really into the extreme side, is what I'm saying. As of last night. And sure enough, I wake up and the market is red by chance. Not that it's real deep red. And look, maybe this is a little head fake and it goes back up and, oh, Joe, you got $4,600 Bitcoin. Here we come. 5Ks on the next stop, baby. And for those of you that want that, I wish you the best of luck. I want you to succeed. I want you to make money. I want you to be happy. But I also want to be happy. And some of my patrons want to be happy with some of the moves that we make. And I don't care if it goes up or down if you're waiting on a specific thing to happen. At the end of the day, year after year, we're going to get to levels where the market's so high, it's doing these things. And people are going to want it to rally. People are going to want it to dump while it's stair-stepping higher and higher year after year, whatever. Like we've seen, Bitcoin being pennies, dollars, tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Now it's thousands. It was tens of thousands, right? Got the 20K. Now it's just thousands. But what's it going to be by next year or the year after? I may be out here, hey guys, my indicator's going off. Bitcoin's at $75,000. Got to be honest with you, it's saying it's actually extreme oversold. Can you believe I'm saying this right now? A couple years from now. It's extreme oversold, it's saying, for Bitcoin at $75,000. Everyone thinks it's going to fall. Guys, my indicator's saying it's oversold. Get the hell in it if you're not. It's about to rally. Like, wouldn't that be kind of neat, kind of cool? If this thing just continues chugging along and doing what it's done for the last 2 years. Yeah, hell yeah, it would be, because a lot of people are going to make some money if it does. I could say that. But yeah, anyway, so public service announcement, again, it's a joke, but we call it the all-seeing indicator. The all-seeing indicator is saying the same thing it said, and we have really recent data, end of February of this year, just last month. Literally a month ago. Today's the 21st. This thing was already giving the signs at that point. Get the hell out of the market at these extreme levels, by the way. But it stayed in the extreme levels like we are today for a number of days, and then it hit. Boom. Today, or last night, was day one of that extreme level. Okay, just FYI. So could we wait 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5? Oh, there it goes. Yeah. What I would not expect, honestly, is it do this, and then the market goes on some kind of tear towards 5,000 Bitcoin. And then I look at this thing and it's updating, and it's gone so extreme that there's never been a point in the last 2 years where it was even that close. Like, let's say the highest it got was a 70 on a scale from 1 to 100, and it's over here at 92. Like, I mean, it would still paint the picture of, hey, look, the data is what the data is, but because, over a dozen other times in the last 24 months, it never got even close to that extreme. It was just down here in the 70 whatever level, and each of those times it puked, that kind of thing. So I do have a magic 8-ball, but I don't have a crystal ball. But I do have an indicator that I'm hoping pans out again. That's all I'm saying. I hope it pans out again. Because I want some cheap ass Bitcoin Cash. Okay? And my patrons want some cheap ass Bitcoin Cash. And I'll be honest, I want some Bitcoin Cash and another coin and one other coin possibly. And I'll tell you that other coin because you know what it is. Litecoin. Not because, I gotta get my Litecoin back. But because I think if this dump, again, what this data is telling, it could be as bad as it could be. People who laughed about these low Litecoin prices we first talked about over here on the JSnip4 channel, we could see some crazy low Litecoin prices. However, you would see crazy low other prices of other coins. Okay? Or not other prices, but you'd see crazy prices of other coins. So I thought, well, I said this before, if we get those kind of crazy prices, because Litecoin really rallied pretty heavy duty since the dump off on $22-3, got to 60, 60 something bucks. Holy crap, I went up 3 times from the bottom of that. Wow, right? Imagine if it goes back down. And we've already made some nice trades with Bitcoin Cash. We have extra fuel money, so to speak. Now everything's dumping. I'm getting super cheap Bitcoin Cash. I'm getting super cheap Litecoin, super cheap some other coin. Oh, the indicator has said market is done puking. You may want to get in now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I want to be that guy that does that. What's that song? I want to be the one that wakes up next to you. I want to be that guy who helped you get through the good times and I'll go into that. The good times and the bad. Snip is trying here for you. The all-seeing indicator is all that I need when it's screaming at me late at night. That was all right? I made you chuckle. You probably chuckled on that a little bit, right? That's Snip freestyling. I didn't think about that. It just comes in. But sometimes I do it, and the words are like, that was stupid. That was awful. And I just roll with it anyways, because I'm not about to edit this video for that. You might get more entertainment out of that than me actually getting a better word in there. You know what I'm saying? I like to please people. I like to be a, guy, make you laugh, make you feel good for something. What's wrong with that? Making people laugh, feel good about themselves, or whatever. Not necessarily about yourself, but just making you feel good. But I'd really like to make you feel good financially in this crazy market. That's what I'd really like to do. Because if I'm doing it for myself, I'm doing it for you too. Psychics, remote viewing, this, that, indicator, magic 8-ball. I mean, hey, listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all seriousness, though, yeah, I want to see these things happen. I want this indicator to work well. That way I can trust it more myself. You then can trust it more through me. So that when it does give another indication, guys, we are either overbought or oversold, we don't feel nearly as scared to, I want to take a chance. I don't know, man. This guy on YouTube, he's really good. He said this and he's been right, but yeah, he hasn't been always right, but he's, all these damn things tugging at you. Yeah, but this guy said that, and we're supposed to dump first. No, we're going to pump first. Then we're going to dump. No, we're going to dump, then pump, then dump. What the? So, little crypto interesting market update. Again, is it really dumping right now? No. Little bit red? Yes. That's it. We're still over $4,000 in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Again, could it be a head fake? Hey guys, yep, dump. The indicator said it, and we go up a little higher. I mean, some of the numbers we were thinking could happen, 41, maybe 4,200 at the worst, before the big dump happened. So we're not even at 4,100. You know, we're in the low 4,000s for Bitcoin. But it didn't have to do that either. It could have stayed in the 38, 39 range, and then the dump happened. Again, the indicator just says, okay, you're getting scary now. You can say, all right, let me get out now. Or you can hang on a little tighter. I want to ride this up a little bit. Maybe the indicator will just hang in there for a few days, and the market will go up just a little bit more so I can really catch that top. I don't think I'm that kind of guy. If this thing's telling me days in advance, we're in extreme zone now, that's good enough for me, because if it drops a 20%, rather than me saying, oh, wow, got 22% out of that deal because I hung on to the last minute, I'm okay with 20 or whatever it is, right? So anyways, got these other videos I need to do. We'll see what happens. All right, take care.